Hey folks, it's Owen here with another barrel report. Happy New Year to everybody. This is my first report of the year, but it's actually a game from the last game from last year. It's a game against Matt and his Bretonnian army. So this is another one from the WarpCon preparation that everyone is doing. WarpCon is at the end of January, the end of this month, and Matt is running the tournament. I think he's going to bring this Bretonnian army with him as well. Now I can't go because I'm doing a tournament next weekend in the Hobby Shack, but I'm just giving everyone a hand just to build their lists. So, going from my army list, I have my usual, same as the last day, which is the Archmage on a level 4. He has a lower high magic, Dispel Scroll, and a Talisman of Endurance. The BSB is a Noble with the Reaver Bow, the Shield of the Merworm, and the Dragonbane Gem. I have the Lore Master again, who I still think is great, but he's not very good in big games. He's level 2 Mage, Talisman of Preservation, 2 units of 15 Archers, 1 unit of Viridian Reavers with a Musician, 2 Eagles, 20 Phoenix Guard with a full command and the Razor Standard, 20 Sword Masters of Hoth with a full command and the Standard Discipline, 5 Silver Hounds with full command, and 2 Bolt Throwers. And onto Bretonnian army. Bretonnian Lord is his general, who has a warhorse, Virtue of Heroism, Sword of Swift Slaying, Grommel Helm, and a shield. The Grommel Helm, after looking this up, gives him a rerollable armor save and +1 to his armor. So whatever all the stuff he has, he's got a 1+ rerollable armor save. As too does the BSB, who has the Enchanted Shield, which gives him +2. So that's a 1+ armor save with Dawnstone rerolling that. The other Paladin can only reroll his armor save once, but he still has a 1+ armor save. So that's a pretty tough front line he has. He's got 2 damsels who are level 2s. Using Lore of Beast. One has a Dispel Scroll. Then there's 40 Men at Arms, which is a nice big unit. Just a Banner and Musician in that. 14 Knights of the Realm, which have the Standard Discipline and full command, which means I presume his Bretonnian Lord will be in there with his Leadership 10 rerollable. And 14 Knights Errant with the Standard of Errantry. That, as far as I remember, that gives them +1 strength. But they have Impetuous Charge, where they have to restrain if they don't want to charge, and I think it's a -2 on their roll as well. He's got 10 bowmen. One of them, these guys have braziers, so they've got flaming bows. 2 of the other regular bowmen, 2 units of 10. 3 Pegasus Knights, and then 2 Trebuchets, which play a very big role in this game. A horribly big role in this game. So we're on to the Bretonnian setup, and Matt sets up straight across. I think it's pretty much a straight line, really. The Knights are there on the left hand side, the Bowmen alongside the Pegasus Knights, then the Men at Arms are in the middle. They have been joined by a damsel on a warhorse who will stay there for 1 turn. Matt tells me that when she's there, she can do something to give them a +1 to their ward save, and then she can just flitter off and join another unit, which sounds pretty handy. There's a Trebuchet just at the back there as well. And the other unit Knights are there just in the centre of the Bretonnian lineup. And what we have here is a Paladin there on the left, the BSB in the centre, and the Bretonnian Lord on the right. So if I go into the front of him, if he goes into the front of me, all I can do is hit a line of 1+ rerollable armor saves, which is no use to me really. The damsel then goes in the centre of his unit because she gets pushed back with all the characters. And then there's just another unit of bowmen and a Trebuchet there on the right hand side. And roll for my spells, and this is what I got. I just said I'd throw this in for a change. I've seen a couple of people do it online, so I'll do it once and see what it looks like. So I got Fiery Convocation, Arcane Unforging, Hand of Glory, and Soul Quench. And then the Lore Master has a big stack of spells there. I don't know if Arcane Unforging will be any good for me. It probably will, but well, it probably would have been in hindsight if I'd used it properly. But anyway, it's quite a good list of spells. And here is the High Elf setup. So my Eagle is on the left hand side, just ahead of some Loner Dark Elf crossbowmen, who are my Archers, of course. Silver Helms are just in front of the Bolt Thrower, with the Viridian Reavers just ahead of them, and Unit Archers just on the right hand side there. And onto the other side, deployment, and the Phoenix Guard and Sword Masters are there, just in front of the Bolt Thrower, and I have an Eagle on the right hand side. So my Lore Master and the BSB are in with the Phoenix Guard. and my main lord is in with the sword masters because they have the 1+ discipline. It gives me a leadership 10. But from what I've done over here and what I shouldn't really be doing is I have him too far over to the right, and he can't help anybody on the left. Plus, against the Bretonnians, I probably should have centered my army again a little bit rather than stretching it all out, because the speed that they come at you at and the devastation of their charge is something that you don't want to have on you, you know. But then again, more stuff to think about as usual with my high elves. And here's my vanguarding unit of reavers. I just moved them up a little bit here. So, high elf turn 1. I get turn 1 automatically because the Bretonnians pray to the damsel or pray to the lady or whatever they do. So, I actually leave the reavers where they are. Silly move, because just above them is some flying horses who will do some damage to me later on in the turn, but we'll not go on about that. I moved the eagle over there, so I was planning on the errantry guys trying to redirect into him, because he'd be a touch further away if I fled with the reavers. But and I think that was quite a good idea, apart from being caught out by one small thing. The bowmen stay where they are. Both units of I think I moved the other units of bowmen actually up a little bit. Just I was thinking about putting them in the tower. But anyway, I moved the silver helms a small bit up because I was hoping that if these guys ran back, they wouldn't go all the way back into them. And then I moved the other eagle across because I was afraid he'd just get shot by the bowman, really. Other two units just wander up a little bit just so I can get in range for some spells. And in range for some spells I was. So I got some dice. I said I might as well try and get rid of this guy's Dispel Scroll early, so I threw all my dice at Searing Doom. And that's what I got, and he uses Spell Scroll, so that's not too bad. So the high elf shooting phase was only getting rid of a couple of archers here and there. So on to Bretonnian turn 1. And Matt does exactly what I didn't even see beforehand. So the knights, or the flying Pegasus knights, declare a charge on my reavers, who fled, and I rolled quite high. So they went bang through the eagle, bang through the scenery, and off the table. We were just using this this castle as the side of the table, so off they went. The knights failed the charge, but it doesn't really matter to them, really. Errantry guys, they say they restrained, so they just moved forward a bit, and I think the men at arms over on the right hand side moved up as well. And just to look on the other side of the battlefield, we have the main unit of knights coming straight down. They're going to take me out of it. That's not good. Bretonnian magic phase, and Matt does exactly what I did in the last one. Threw all his dice at one spell, hoping to get rid of my Dispel Scroll. He got it off. I dispelled it, so 1 for 1. And here starts the attack of the Trebuchet. For the next 3 or 4 turns, you'll see exactly how amazingly accurate these things are. So the first one scatters a little bit. It was in the center. I think it scattered 2 or 4, so it only caught a few guys. I think it scattered 2 and caught maybe 6 or 8. We had 6+ ward save from shooting attacks because sword masters, because they're brilliant. And then I didn't cast any other spells, so it was actually just a 6+. I think I saved only 1 there, so 5 of them for 4 of them were dead. But the other Trebuchet was bang on, and thanks to my ward save, I managed to save a few guys. But apart from that, I've lost 7 Phoenix Guard, which is pretty crippling for my main unit. Shooting wasn't much for the Bretonnians either, so on to my high elves turn 2. So the eagle stays exactly where he is, waiting to maybe bring those guys down. I only moved the helms up a little bit to maybe ward off the flying cavalry coming over my direction. Leave the archers where they are. They can now shoot at them as well. I think there was a -2, plus there's a -1 for skirmisher, so I wasn't really worth my while shooting at those guys. So I was kind of stuck, really. And over here, I think I just backed up a little bit because of the fear of the big massive Bretonnian lance coming down towards me, and because of the trebuchets. Maybe in hindsight it's actually a good idea for me to spread out my deployment, because those trebuchets would kill me if they scattered onto anything else. So my shooting did pretty much nothing. A couple of bowmen were killed. My bolt throwers did nothing as well. So we're on to Bretonnian turn 2, and his knights errant charge my eagle, who flees. and they try and redirect into the archers, but they fail. So I think they only go 3 or 4 or something like that, which is quite good. If I can keep them from coming towards me, I'll be fine. The rest of his movement is just to get these guys in line, get them ready for a charge. The damsel from the men-at-arms has moved over to join the unit of archers, just to get out of the way, really, because there's no point in having her there. So onto the Bretonnian magic phase, and Wizen's wild form is off on his big unit of knights. As far as I remember, I failed his spell, so that's going to make them very tough, and I certainly won't want to be attacking them too. Turn 2, shooting for Bretonnians, and the Trebuchets do it again. A direct hit on a unit of 15 archers leaves me with 2 left. And again, another direct hit on my my swordmasters this time. Manages to get rid of the rest, get rid of 6 of these guys. This is not turning out to be good. So we move on to High Elf turn 3, and as you can see, there's only one actually bowman there left. He got shot by the archers, but yeah, High Elf turn 3. So I just said, look, I'm going to have to start charging these guys, otherwise I'm going to get shot to bits. So the Silver Helms declare a charge on the Knights Errant on the left hand side. Can't see him there, but I think we needed maybe a 7 on 3 dice. We got a 5, so they'll just move forward in a minute. The eagle fails to rally, and he wanders just to the edge of the board, so we'll only have one more chance to get him back. And then moving over here, I charge into the men-at-arms, because there is no point in standing back and getting shot by another trebuchet. I think it was an extra, I think it was an 8 or a 9, but they still made it in. And I think it was the only thing I could have done, because otherwise, if I stay back, I would have got hammered again. I brought the other eagle over here just to redirect one turn these massive unit of knights, so maybe my swordmasters might have a chance to either maybe come in the flank or maybe move around a little bit. I don't know. I don't think the Phoenix Guard are going to get rid of those knights, or sorry, men-at-arms in time for them to turn around to get into the other guys, but it's the only thing I can do, really. So my magic phase, and I sent a soul quench into his main unit because I just wanted to get something off, and he let it go. I don't think it did any damage though, because I think I maybe killed 1 knight, maybe 2 knights on my d6, but I just needed to get some more ward save on my guys. So the High Elf combat phase, and we do some nice damage against these men-at-arms. We get rid of, we got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 men-at-arms for 1 damage on my BSB and 1 Phoenix Guard getting killed, so that's pretty good going. Unfortunately, there's a hell of a lot of ranks, and there's a hell of a lot of guys, so we're probably going to be here for 2 or 3 more turns, which is no good, because this other guys on the right hand side are going to clatter me. And clatter me is what they do. So Bretonnian turn 3, these guys go straight into the eagle. No point in fleeing, because that's what he's there for. There to redirect them and keep him there for, well, till the end of this combat phase, because he'll be chopped up. But he'll have done his job, so fair play to the eagle. Here the Knights Errant fail their charge on me, so they only move 2 or 3, so eventually one of us will get in combat, and hopefully it's going to be me. At least I can do some damage to him, because otherwise we're in trouble. Bretonnian magic phase is quite good. Matt does really well getting Wizens on the men-at-arms, which is going to be horrible for me. It means instead of wounding them on a 3, I'm going to wound them on a 4. Plus it means he's going to get a lot more attacks through with his strength 4. Strength 5, actually these guys have halberds. And then he has Pan's Pelt put onto, I think it's his BS, no, it's not his BSB, it's the other Paladin, the guy with the Dawn Stone, with the Luck Stone, because he's pretty sure that when he kills this eagle, he's just going to reform and wait a turn and charge into me. Meanwhile, I'll have 2 bolt throwers to shoot at him. He's going to take each bolt thrower on this guy, and he's going to be, let's see, toughness 4 plus 3, toughness 7. So I don't think I'm going to be getting through there. So onto the Bretonnian shooting, and the Trebuchet does it again. What you see here isn't actually 2 missing out of the unit, it's the unit missing and 2 left, which means Trebuchet has hit me again and destroyed another 13 archers. So another unit has been wiped off the face, and that's not good. The eagle bites the dust. Fair enough, fair play to the eagle, you did your job. And as far as I can see, he can't turn to face me yet, but all he has to do is declare a charge and move across. We're in trouble now. So High Elf turn 4, and instead of waiting for the lance to come to me, I'm going to go to them. So Swordmasters go in there. I'm able to maximise where I can get all my guys in and leave the mage on the outside, so that's not too bad. And we still get quite a few attacks on them, and we're going to be going first. The only problem is that we're hitting 3 characters with rerollable armour saves and a ward save. So the chances of me getting rid of anybody is very, very, very slim. But at least I have a chance. And over on the left hand side, somebody finally makes it into combat. And it does. So we got 5 guys charging into the Knights Errant. Hopefully we'll get rid of maybe 2 or 3. If we can cut off one of the ranks, we might have a chance to break them. That's assuming that they don't kill me in return. It's a nice assumption, but we'll see how it goes. So the High Elf magic phase, and I think I rolled something like 4 on a dice, or 3 or something. It was brutal. But I'm sorry for the blurry picture, by the way. So we got Hand of Glory off on the unit, but it was only +1 to my weapon skill, and it's not going to do much. I probably should have boosted it to try and get all my stats in. Maybe I could have done something else, but it was just maybe to give myself some ward save, and then hopefully get maybe enough weapon skill to have him hit me on 5s. But it didn't work out like that, unfortunately. But at least I got it off. So the combat phase we have here is we actually lost a couple more to combat in the last one. I forgot to say that. So Wisdom's Wild Form is still on. We still killed a lot of guys, and we only lost 1 in return. These guys are doing really, really well. This Phoenix Guard unit is really, really good. Battle Standard Bearer is dead though. Something that I forgot to say last turn, and I forgot all about myself. And the archers over there just moved up behind the building, trying not to get shot by trebuchets or any more archers. So over to combat on the left hand side, and we have had a bit of a nightmare here, lads. Lost 2 guys for only killing 1 of his, which means that with a charge and only 1 death, we've got a banner in there as well as 3. He's got banner, a rank, another rank, and 2 deaths, and we're going to be on, I think it's 5 or 4 or something. And whatever we were on, we failed. So he rolls, I roll, and he catches me, and that's the end of the Silver Helms. I like the idea of the Silver Helms, but I need more of them. That's all I need to do. I need to get more of them, I need to use them a bit better as well, and use them more often. So Bretonnian turn 4, and I think the crossbow's dead. I think it is, but we'll see how it happens. We've got always strike first. He's got 45 attacks. Yep, that's the end of that. And over here, he declares a charge with his bowmen, who have the stinking damsel in there as well. Now he hadn't got a damsel on a horse to represent this woman here. And later on we realised that the spell he uses soon can't be cast by someone who's not on foot. But we forgot about that, and we didn't think about it, and what goes on is actually pretty cool. And the elves were dead anyway, so at least something interesting happened. But I'll just remind you later on about this. And there we go. The magic phase for the Bretonnians works out pretty well for him. Transformation of cat on, and we cannot dispel it. He turns into a giant black dragon, which is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But the spell can't be cast unless you're on foot, and he wasn't, so this shouldn't have actually happened. Pretty cool though, so it's interesting to see. It wasn't too interesting for the Phoenix Guard though, I'll tell you that. And that's the end of him. He's killed, and the other guy is left on his own, so that's not good. And over here, Hand of Glory is still on. He only kills 1 of my guys, but the thing is that he's got the ranks, and we just don't. So we're going to be I think we're 5s, and we fail. So off we go, we get caught, and that's the end of my general, and that's the end of my unit. And even though the game is pretty much over, we said we might as well fight this combat and see what happens anyway. And what happens is that the Phoenix Guards still kill loads of guys, and then the dragon comes in and stomps on them and kills them and eats them. I didn't realise now, but you can, when you're a character, you can actually allocate your attacks onto anybody you want. So he allocated attacks to the Lore Master and stomps onto these guys. And what happened is that the unit is ruined. So that's the end of that, and I think that's the end of the game. It is. Bretonnians are something that I haven't faced before, and something that I really didn't have a clue on how to deal with. I just didn't know how fast and how dangerous they were. Plus, Matt is a very good general. He played up in War in the North and he won. With Skaven, of course, different type of army. But when you're good at one army, I think you're pretty good at everything else. So another learning curve for the High Elves. Another learning curve for me. What do I need to do? I need to get a bigger unit of Silver Helms. Maybe think about getting rid of the Eagles, although they did do pretty well in this game. Maybe some more Reavers, I don't know, but I must say I am enjoying the list, and I am enjoying the games, so hopefully you enjoy this game, and I should have another battle report up later on during the week, maybe next weekend. But thanks for watching, cheers.